So the next section I have is a little bit more follow-up on Hawaii. I said I would be releasing and showing a lot of mutual aid camps that are existing outside of the Red Cross or other NGOs like FEMA and whatnot, because I think it's important to tell their story because they're still in a crisis right now. The best way we can help, and my friend said he felt there was a little bit of an uptick in some of the traffic in Maui, and the New York Times started parroting this because, you know, some of this independent media journalists went out there and said, listen, guys, one of the biggest things we can tell you right now is that Maui is not closed, right? I know it's a harsh thing to think to kind of give this George W. Bush statement when he said, I want you to go out and buy something since you're all upset. When I said to you, guys, go on vacation if you can, go to Maui. But 80% of the revenue that goes into Maui comes from tourism. So when you cancel your trip because the governor said, you know, oh, don't come here, or Aquaman said it's closed, that really hurts the people. Right now with the situation, whatever started this whole fire, like I said, we can talk about it till the cows come home. It's not as important as doing what we need to do right now. Demanding transparency on what happened, what is going on, and more importantly, for the future. So the people of Lahaina, the indigenous people who've been there for so long, which Lahaina was the capital of Hawaii before it was colonized, so they can stay there. First things first, let's pump the aid into them. Let's pump the money directly into them. Let's help them out because they need to stay there. And if it's, unfortunately, and I know some people might say it sucks that their economy is so built on tourism, but that's the way it is right now. So we need to help them. Another thing we need to do is help out these mutual aid camps. And I saw 2 of them just north of Lahaina. Help them out, get them money, get them resources, because they're getting their money directly into the hands of the people. So I have a video here talking about one of the mutual aid camps I saw just north of Lahaina. Check this out. You lived here since day one?
No, I lived there.
Okay.
But literally since day one, we had this thing set up.
Yeah?
From one tent to all of this. So it's evolved from nothing to this.
Yeah?
I've done 6 interviews on 6 different major networks, Minnesota, Chicago, all kinds of things, promoting this because we're trying to keep this going. So,
have they been busting balls as far as like Red Cross, FEMA, saying, what are you guys doing? Has it been a pushback, or they've been kind of like...
I can tell you this, for the first 3-4 weeks, we did everything by ourselves and didn't get any help.
Okay.
No local, state, federal, national, no anything, not a bottle of water. So all of this is privately funded, 100% from the community, from different islands. The deal is this: everybody whose house got burnt down, they lost everything. They lost their homes, they lost their jobs, and the government gave them $700. So right now they're being put up by first aid for 2-3 weeks in hotels, but when that ends, they don't have anywhere to stay, they have no money, they have no jobs, they have no food, they have nothing.
Could we go in there? And you guys been doing this all by yourself, local donations, nobody big chipping in at all?
Nobody. Since day one. Since literally day one.
That's fucking awesome. That's impressive, man. This is awesome.
There you go.
Totally awesome, brother.
Yeah. Sun-powered, whatever they call it, powering the entire thing. They can power an entire apartment complex.
How'd you get this?
It was donated. We used 2%. They just did. There's 98% capacity in there. We use 2% a day of this.
That's it?
From the sun, yeah. We can power this whole neighborhood with that.
That's awesome.
Donate it. Everything.
That's
refrigerators.
Awesome.
There you go. Trucks. Oh, there's a coal truck.
Yeah.
There's a coal truck over there. You hear that? Tents. From day one. From one tent to this.
You know what I got to do? I got to come back tomorrow during the day and do a so we can do a little tweet.
Come early.
Nice. So
I leave. I go to Florida at 10:30. I have to go to a funeral. But
I'll be there before that.
Come at 9.
All right.
At 9. Cool.
Bye, guys.
All right, brother. Yes, sir.
And by the way, when I did go back the next day too as well, they were all setting up, so I kind of caught them at a weird time, but I was able to speak to them and even get more information. And these little camps have almost everything you need there. Everything from food, canned goods. They have food trucks where people can come up and get food. The real issue is coming up is that when the Red Cross pulls out completely and FEMA pulls out completely and they tell these people no more hotel rooms, no more stay, you got to go, what's going to happen then? That's the really scary part that's coming up because, you know, these people have lost everything. I mean, can you imagine leaving your house one day? This is where your grandparents lived, your parents lived, and you don't even realize what's going on. But when you try to go back, it's closed off. You can't go in there. Then you don't know for days what happened to your land, what happened to your property, only to be told it's been burnt down to nothing, and you can't even go in there and get closure. That's what's going on. That's who these people are serving on a regular basis. There's a lot of people we didn't film because you can see it in their face, the trauma that's going through them. It's just written all over their face. They're not ready to speak about it. Some of them have lost children. Some of them have lost family. Some of them have just lost their house or their business. So that's what we're experiencing right here. And that's why I'm showing this right now, because I think it's so important to put money directly in their hands. Because I saw it with my own eyes, guys. They're helping the people. They're helping the citizens of Lahaina. And a lot of people in Lahaina are very upset that the government hasn't done anything for them, has given Ukraine all this money. Almost every single person I spoke to, it's like, it's a spit in the face that they give billions to Ukraine and they're going to give me $700? Not just each person, but for our household? Are you kidding? They're very, very upset. They say they're downplaying this number of how many people were lost, how many people were killed, and they're trying to make it look less of a tragedy so they don't get the help or the attention they need. That's why I went and got off my ass and went there, is because it felt like the mainstream media was burying this. It didn't seem like our government was capable of handling this or didn't want to help this. And that's why I say to myself, and I say to you guys, what I see, it seems like an orchestrated gentrification. They don't want the people there anymore. They want them off the land because they want the land themselves. That is the ruling class. They all know their governor, Josh Green, was a keynote speaker at the UN when it comes to 15-minute sustainable cities. What does that tell you? Let me play a little bit more of this real quick. Hey guys. I want to get your guys' story and get it out there unfiltered, truthfully, not exaggerated, you know, not manipulated, not exploited. So that's why I'm here to show this and then also just provide links directly to you guys where people can donate directly to you. So I'd love to hear, what's your name, by the way?
My name is Michelle.
Michelle.
Michelle
awesome.
McCucci. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And you're a Lahaina resident?
Yes,
or?
I am.
Okay, so would you be willing to tell me your story?
Yeah. So, my goodness, I'm gonna just try to stick to.
By the way, this is the first time she's opening up to anybody and talking.
We live in Lahaina, and about 2:30 in the afternoon, we smelled smoke, and within an hour, got a call from my son, and who lives at Okakea, but not far from where we live, and says, "Mom, you need to evacuate. The fire is coming." And we have adult children, and they live outside of. Two live outside of Lahaina. One lives in Lahaina. He's the one who called. And so my husband went out and started watering the property, and all of a sudden we were completely enveloped in black smoke. Yeah. And then it would appear bright blue, and then it would appear black. So we weren't sure if we were being engulfed in the fire or it was blowing. So the wind was unprecedented. I've never seen or experienced. I've grown up in Lahaina. I've lived here for 43 years. I've never seen anything like it before.
And I don't mean to interrupt, ladies and gentlemen, but that's the part when you talk about some people were saying all these theories would happen. A lot of people were talking about they've never experienced winds like this before. So that's why they do mention the weather modification of sorts, because that's what, you know, enabled this fire. Not, first of all, the real sin is the conditions that were allowed to happen to cause Lahaina to be a brush fire friendly neighborhood, right? The grass that they brought in years ago to feed the cattle is indigenous of Africa. The water diversion from this area, from the locals, from the local farmers, the indigenous farmers, was disgusting. The way they took the water and they diverted it to golf courses and rich neighborhoods. So the conditions that were left for Lahaina to be, for this to happen, along with these wins, is what a lot of people are talking about. Just food for thought.
It's as though like somebody, it was a wind that came like a blowtorch, and blew quickly, and stopped, and blew and stopped. And so it took a while for us to get out of the house. We were kind of not, you just don't know what to do. And we just started driving out of the complex, and we sat there for 25 minutes. We couldn't get out. And so from there, we ended up just praying and having this peace and being enveloped by the dark smoke, and then blew again. And we inched our way out, and our next plan was, if that was going to happen, if we were going to become overwhelmed with the fires, to get out, run to the ocean and swim. That was it. That was the other plan. So this is a family that has always, these families have always come and poured into our community in times of crisis. And so this was set up by them. And then they were now deemed as a legitimate place where you can get food and resources and things like that.
Yeah.
So
this is pretty amazing. I mean, this is an example of what people have to do. I've never seen anything like this. Yes. I've been to countries in Latin America where they have socialist governments and collective governments where they pull together. Yeah. Still, nothing like this. This is amazing, and this is an example of.
Because this is Ohana, this is Hawaii, and the very first responders. Were the people from Molokai. The people from Molokai came over and gave their generators and their food. And Hana gathered all kinds of belongings and gave it to us to help.
The guy sent you 3 GoFundMe pages. Just use the one for this. That's all we're trying to promote.
That's this one right here, guys.
Not his personal one. Straight this one.
This one.
That's it. When you do our thing, that's it.
Let me make sure I'll check that before we leave.
I'm gonna send it to you right now. Like, forget the one you sent. I want you to do this one because I don't care about moving the other one. We're not promoting the other one. We're just promoting this. That's it.
And what's this one called?
This is called the Pohaku S-Turns GoFundMe page, specifically set up for this. Okay. So I'm gonna send it to you right now. Okay. So before all this happened, there was one bench. You see the bench over there?
Yep.
Every night after work, the 6 or 8 of us who live in this community used to come here and hang out, have some Coors Lights, watch the sunset, and so on. From the day after the fire, that bench evolved into this bench, that food truck, those 20 tents, that 50-foot container.
I didn't mean to do that, but really, I'll go back and I'll be able to fast forward to the point. But really, to tell you the truth, that's what it was about. It was like 4 or 5 guys that in the community sat there, right? That was their area. They hung out there after work, whatnot. Sean would go on to tell me that he has a surf shop that was burnt down in the fire. So he doesn't have anywhere to go, a job. He lives right around the corner. But that's what they're doing. They thrusted themselves into this type of work. And this is the fun right here. The Pohaku S-Turns Community Relief Fund, guys. I'm sorry I cut it off. It was a long video, too, as well. But, he went on to go show us everything again, too, a little bit more in the sunlight. I'm going to have that video up, too, on my Twitter soon as we're working all that stuff. But it just truly is amazing because you see all this red tape, right, where people can't get things they need right away. They can't get the help they need right away. One citizen told me that since she had renter's insurance, it didn't allow her to get a room at a hotel because she had renter's insurance. And they were like, what? So there's a lack of transparency that's going on. And I don't want to just say lack of transparency. There seems like a cover-up where they don't want to tell the truth. When I say we need transparency, it's that we need to make sure that these elected officials are telling the truth. But from what I saw, and it was completely amazing. The other day, Friday, we talked about the other one. But this one right here, they call this Canoe Beach. It's Pohaku S-Turns Community Relief Fund, guys. Do me a favor. If you want to help out, you can't go to the island, you can't do that, donate a few bucks over here. If you can. This is mutual aid, baby. We would use that term all the time, and just seeing the way this community came together. You know what I'm saying? And it was an indigenous dude. There was a local. There was a haole, they call them, white people, right? They were all coming together. They didn't give a damn about their political identities. They didn't give a damn if you were Republican or Democrat. The community was in need, and they needed to do something. And they've kept it going for quite some time. And it's going to be very important that we help them out right now, because they're going to start pulling out the governmental relief. They're going to be pulling it out. And there's going to be even more people who are going to need help. So go right to this GoFundMe, guys, and help them out. The Pahaku S-Turns Community Relief Fund. And that's all I got to say. I got a couple more I'll be posting out throughout the week on my social media, my Twitter, whatnot. But if you want to help the people out directly, don't go to Rock and the Oprah. Go right here.
Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Tampa, Boca Raton, Orlando, Dallas, Houston, San Diego, Bloomington, Illinois, Indianapolis, and Levittown, New York. Wow, that's a lot of dates. See you there.